Hi, I am Savannah. I'm 24. 5 days ago, I underwent the MARPE surgery, and I am here to talk about my experience and just give anyone any information. If you're someone who is considering the MARPE, so I'm going to talk about why I did it and what it is. Um, so everyone's teeth are different, and your orthodontist will prescribe a different treatment plan for each and every individual. Um, my problem is that I have a crossbite on one side of my mouth as opposed to both sides, and that's due to my lower jaw being shifted, I think, in this direction more so than that direction. I don't know. Um, but initially, my orthodontist recommended that I get a full maxillofacial jaw surgery. I said, nah, that's way too intense. The recovery for that is really traumatic. It takes a long time to recover. I'm sure for some people it's totally worth it. For me, I don't have a problem with the asymmetry of my jaw. It doesn't bother me at all. Um, but if it bothers you, by all means, you should do it. Um, and I don't mean to sound sarcastic when I say that, but I was not comfortable with that option. And so I said, what else do you got? Because all I really care about right now is pulling down this canine up here and just straightening my teeth, so that I can just have a nice, confident smile. That's why we all go to the orthodontist, right? So he offered that we could pull another tooth out. And I say another because I just got these two wisdom teeth pulled out. It was great. Which I didn't want to pull a tooth out. I want to keep all my teeth. Because you only get so many teeth, so I'd like to keep as many as I can, if I can. And that's when he said, let's do MARPE. And I said, okay. And we did it. So MARPE. MARPE stands for Mini Screw Assisted Rapid Palate Expansion. Well, it's fun to say. Basically, what's going to happen is you're going to go to your oral surgeon. They're going to make an incision right here, right there, above your two front teeth in the center, split your palate, and then they will screw with tiny little screws this expander to the roof of your mouth. It sounds scary, I know, but it's really okay. And I will show you that expander as best as I can. Yeah, that's what it looks like. And it is screwed in there, baby. Oh, yeah. So, by doing that, and the reason why I have to have an incision and have it screwed into my palate is because I'm not a child. My bones are malleable. They're not malleable. They're not growing. So we have to stimulate bone growth and force it to expand. It's a good time. Yay. So that is the why and the how. Leading up to my surgery, I had to have photographs, x-rays done of my teeth to make a plan. Then I had to go in again, and they put spacers between my teeth. They're these little rubber discs, and they put them between your teeth to go ahead and separate your teeth and make room so that when they put that expander in, it'll just pop right in. Totally painless, fits perfectly. It's great. And the spacers are pretty annoying. It feels like you have popcorn kernels stuck in your teeth. But they weren't that bad. Again, this all just depends on your personal level of pain tolerance. But the spacers weren't bad. You get really used to them. I wouldn't worry about it. And then I had the spacers in for about 3 to 4 weeks, went back. I was really scared because they were going to actually put the expander on, not screw it in yet, but they were just putting it in and putting the braces on. I thought it was going to hurt. And so when I showed up, I was shaking and I was really scared and I was like, my legs were shaking. I was so nervous. And my hygienist asked, "How are you?" And I said, "I'm really freaking out." And she asked me why, and I told her that I was scared that it was going to hurt. And she said, "Nah, this will be painless. This is a walk in the park." And she was right. It was a long and tedious process to put the braces and the expander on, but it was completely painless, did not hurt. She did not lie. So I wouldn't be worried about that part. Then the next day, which was 5 days ago, literally the day after I got all this put in my mouth, I woke up early. I drove 30 minutes. Well, my boyfriend drove me because I was going to be sedated, so I needed somebody else to drive. I was also, yeah, you get it. So, early in the morning, I got to the oral surgeon's office at 8 in the morning and we started. They put me under anesthesia, which I had to have an IV in my arm, and then they put the anesthesia in it, and my whole body and my head got really fuzzy. It was weird. It was so weird. And then it was just dark. And they told me it was going to be the best nap ever. And it was a pretty great nap. I really didn't want to wake up. I didn't want to wake up so badly that when they did wake me up and I was just, the fluorescent lights were just shining in my face and the room was cold and my mouth ached. I just burst into tears because it was such a nice nap. I was so upset. Now the pain afterwards was pretty bad, and they did offer to alleviate it right then and there, but I said no because I was worried that they were gonna give me another shot in my mouth, and my face was already like part of my face was already numb, and I hate that feeling so much, so I just wanted to get out of there. I said no, I gotta go, and so I left and I cried all the way home. It was pretty bad, but I will say my boyfriend took me home, put me to bed. I laid in bed with gauze stuffed in my mouth because you're going to bleed afterwards a lot, much like with your wisdom teeth. So it's really important to keep your gauze in there. And he went and picked up my prescription. They prescribed me hydrocodone. And let me tell you, those hydrocodones, immediately when I took the pill, all that pain was gone. So make sure that they give you a really strong painkiller and it'll be okay. I promise. But yeah, immediately all the pain was gone. And I'm here 5 days later and I'm not in any pain at all. So it's if you are gonna get it, it's gonna be okay. Eating. Let's talk about food now. So I could not eat a milkshake. That was the first thing I tried to eat. It was so cold. The roof of my mouth was in a lot of pain because of how cold it was, because I would spoon the milkshake in and I tried to like slurp it and it would go all the way to the roof of my mouth, get stuck under the expander, and it would just burn. It sucked. So I could not eat a milkshake. Very disappointing. But what I could eat, I ate a lot of veggie broth, and you can have chicken broth or beef broth, whatever you prefer. But I would eat veggie broth with soft avocados, and I'd heat it up and then I'd let it cool off. I got my veggie broth from a Vietnamese restaurant because I was too lazy to heat anything up or go to the store, and I just really like this veggie broth at this Vietnamese restaurant. So good. So I'd get that with a side of avocados, and the avocados would kind of like get really mushy with the hot broth, and I would just drink that, and it was so good. And then mashed potatoes. Could eat mashed potatoes. Mashed potatoes are so good too. And then one of my favorite things were these Chobani yogurt um, shake things. So good, so easy to drink, and really filling. Definitely made up for the milkshake. I highly recommend these. But if you can't eat yogurt or you don't like yogurt, I'm sorry, you'll have to find something else. Um, so that was pretty much what I eat. And yeah, about like 3 days later, after just eating all this mush and liquids, I was able to go out and oh yeah, and I had macaroni too. So I've been able to have macaroni. I had some fettuccine alfredo with breaded eggplant. And then today I had cheese enchiladas with rice and beans. And it's challenging to eat. It's not painful, but everything you eat will get stuck in all of this. So you need to clean everything out. Otherwise it's gonna suck. So I recommend getting a water pick. There are lots of different water picks. They don't all look like this. This is just the one that I have. You turn it on, you can adjust the pressure. Water sprays out of here, and you can get in between your teeth. And then it's great because you can also get all up in that palate expander and really clean it out good. So this is awesome. However, that being said, those first 2 days, this area is really, really sensitive. And the water pick, like even at the lowest pressure, it was still hitting too hard. So I would also recommend a syringe or an irrigator, whatever you want to call it. You just fill it up with some like lukewarm water, salt water, whatever you want. And then you can slowly just get over and under your expander and clean out any gunk that might be in there. So that was also really helpful on those first couple days when I was just really tender. Yeah, and this is also really great too. It's like this little tree brush, and you can get in between all of the spaces. And if you don't have braces, obviously you don't have to worry about this. You can floss like a normal person. Um, but if you do have braces when you're doing this, your orthodontist will give you a whole bunch of awesome little tools. And then lastly, mouthwash. Rinsing your mouth out is really important to keep everything clean. I wouldn't use anything with alcohol in it because that'll burn and really irritate the area. I really like ACT, I don't know, because there's no alcohol, there's fluoride, and it's really gentle on your mouth. And I like it. It's what I use, so do or don't. But that that's what I can tell you about how I've been getting through this and what has helped me. Lastly, I'll go ahead and I'll show you the keys. They look like little wrenches. So I turn my expander 3 times a day now. I started yesterday. This is my second day. So I've done a total of 5 turns, and in an hour or so I'll do my last turn for today. So I'll have done 6 turns. There's 2 in here. They're both the same key. Just one of them is longer than the other. I like to use the longer one. All that happens is you open your mouth, it'll click on the expander, right? And then you'll just push it all the way towards the back of your mouth. And that's how you turn it. And I can assure you, I was nervous, but it was completely painless. It was just like the most faint little whisper of pressure, and then it was over. And it was really easy, and every single turn I've done has been painless. So if you're nervous about it, don't be. I hope that if you're watching this, that My insight might be able to help you prepare if you're going to get the MRPE surgery. Best of luck to you. If you're getting braces, whatever, it's going to be okay, and hopefully the results are worth it. I don't know yet, but I can tell you that so far, recovery has been really good. So if you're about to do MARPE, don't worry, it'll be okay.